Hi everybody, welcome back to another live stream here courtesy of YouTube. I am your host Wishbone for the remainder of the evening. For those of you who have been here previously for parts of this game, maybe you're watching the recent playthrough of Dishonored, perhaps you're here for the other Persona games, all the Danganronpa, the Final Fantasy VII back in the day, or even the weirder streams such as Doki Doki Literature Club and a huge classic what was Song of Memories. Thank you very much for all you people, because without you, well, this stream would be active, but it wouldn't be as interactive or as reactive. And for those of you who've never seen this channel before, it's all about live, blind Let's Plays when we go through, give our live reactions, tell lots of bad jokes, and have plenty of banter in the chat that way. So if you've got any questions, you want to get them out there, please do so, and I'll do what I can to interact with them as we go through the story. Now, last time we played Persona 4 Arena, we played as Labrys, and if you notice, her character icon is the only one with the yellow through the P1 logo, and that's because, having beaten her campaign, the game said we could pick up from the cliffhanger moment for certain characters. So, I'm going to choose by going back to playing as the Chad himself, Narukami. I can, because I'm the king. And we're going to see exactly what happens next.
I wish you good luck.
At least I hope so. Thank God for that. As a continue from cliffhanger moment, I was panicking then. Wait a second. Does that mean I had to load the save data and the certain characters that I'd written over? Nope, we can carry on from the cliffhanger. Let's go.
You're lying. This isn't real. I'm not a machine.
So for context, for those of you who've missed this, I should have one of those videos that goes previously on Persona 4. We'd seen the anime scene where the shadow form of Teddy had evolved and come out as the dark version of Labrys and exposed her as a mechanical goddess, complete with wings and everything else. Meanwhile, on the stream, we've got Avian who's jumped in saying you also get in trouble for telling terrible, barely funny jokes. Barely. Stop it right now. Well, how goes? All is fine so far. I did my first day at work today for a week, so I've been off and it was quite tiring, but I survived. I also did a bit of running earlier, so I'm taking it as smooth and easy as I can. How are you?
You're not me.
Oh, she had to say it. She had to say it, didn't she? She's now the truth of the Shadow's creation. With this, the Shadow's face twists into an evil rapture. And I pointed this out previously, but I like how the regular form of Labrys is on the yellow side of the screen, which is lighter, and then you got the shadow form on the darker side. It's a really basic piece of symbolism, but it works so well. And, you've been holding on to that one because it popped into your head yesterday, did it, Avian? Oh, wow. You managed to pause that joke. Yeah, I can do it too. You're welcome. Oh, another anime scene. Here we go.
Yes, the power.
So what's this form going to take? It's a huge... Ifrit, is that you? Are we playing Final Fantasy all of a sudden? Oh... Whoa, that's really cool! I'm loving all these, hanging upside down dolls. Now that's a fantastic reference to the main game, because that's how the victims were found. That's not really a spoiler, by the way, because I'm not saying who they are. But whenever one was found, they'd look exactly like that. That's a fantastic callback to the main game. And you say, you've been good, things are calm at work, so not headless chicken at the moment. Well, fingers crossed it stays that way, Avian. That sounds like the perfect start to the week. I'd hoped I could save her before I got to this point. But that might have been impossible anyway. It's difficult enough to confront the truth, and in her case, it was accompanied by revealing the true form she'd been so desperate to hide. She's a machine, and she was forced to perform painful acts that most likely no one could ever comprehend. The truth she was avoiding wasn't just part of her personality, but her actual body itself. I can't imagine the shock she's experiencing. But now the reality she built for herself has crumbled. I want to help her. She may be a machine, but she has a heart. Labrys has denied her past in which she was forced to fight and kill my friends. And her pain comes out in a long, echoing scream. Yeah, that's a good thought actually there, maybe. And you think that the dolls are probably representations of her sisters, like Unit 24. It wouldn't surprise me actually. That'd also be a nice little callback too. What has to be done to her heart to cause such terrible screams? There's only one thing we could do. Oh. Right, well, it's his story, so let's carry on. Option 16. Ah, right, I'm fighting Shadow Labrys, who's got Asterius? Asterius?
Final. He's enough. He's enough.
Oh, well, damn, that's one way to win a fight. Well, that's probably the fastest we've actually got into a fight on the series of streams. I say that reminds you of Ultra Aspergillus. Yeah, I can actually see the resemblance there. You're probably not right. You're probably not wrong. Well, Ultra Aspergillus came later. The power that Labrys' shadow had gathered dissipates. It's over. All that's left is for Labrys to accept the darkness within her. But will she truly be able to do it? I agree with you, and that was an epic ending to the fight. And Irish and Jack, good evening, mate. How are you doing? Well, afternoon? I mean, it's not afternoon where I am. It's past 8 o'clock where I am at the moment, mate. And you've been busy taking care of your family, have you? Well, that's always a very big thing to do. So huge responsibility. Well done taking that on, mate. How are they doing? I turn around, but Labrys hasn't moved a muscle. She'd been avoiding having to watch the battle just now as well. What more can I do for her?
Labrys.
The moment I called to her...
There they are! Yukon! Labrys!
Hey, oh, they were able to get through the glass walls.
Sister, Narukami-san.
Chie and Aigis-san, and not just them. Yukiko and Yosuke are right behind them. And there are even more surprises.
Man, as soon as that invisible wall thing disappeared, I knew you did it!
We ran into Aika-san along the way. She told us about Labrys and everything.
A little late, wasn't it? If someone told me what was going on from the start, I would have...
God bless you, Kanji. God bless you.
You fell into the TV when you were half asleep. For crying out loud.
Oh.
You gotta blow it when it counts.
Teddy, knock it off! For crying out loud! Fuck you!
Hey, what'd you go and tell them for?
I don't think this is the time for that.
Huh? Naoto?
Yeah, we were surprised too. The job she was on turned out to be related to all this.
Oh yeah, Irish the Jack. We've actually done a full campaign as Aigis. Aigis turned up on the first episode of this series out of nowhere. Kanji, who'd been missing before he went inside the TV, and the real Teddy are here. There's even Naoto, who wasn't supposed to be able to come to Inaba. It looks like the whole investigation team was brought back together, and I didn't know it. Irish the Jack, get out! Door that way! Be gone! Off with you! Before it's a case of off with your head. Or perhaps, no, sorry. I'll do the proper Alice. Shindekururu? Everyone says that Reset told them pretty much what had been going on. Their smiles are encouraging. I turn to speak to Labrys, who's been silent all this time.
These are my friends. We've all faced our weaknesses at one time or another.
Labrys finally responds.
Weaknesses. You've all faced your shadows?
Everyone gathers around Labrys. Labrys tries to shirk away nervously, but Reese stays behind her and won't let her retreat.
Sheesh, enough doom and gloom. If you don't hurry and accept her, she'll get all lonely.
That's far. That's so syrupy it could kill me. She's gonna get all lonely. Wow. Pardon me, guys. Yeah.
But I'm a weapon who didn't want to fight. And I dragged you all into this.
You're still hung up on that? It's over already, dummy.
Your jumping skills were amazing, but you're surprisingly sensitive, aren't you?
What does that have to do with her jumping skills?
You're really cute, Labby-chan. You're so meta-luring.
He had to do it. He had to go worse. He had to start bringing fucking mechanical puns into it. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna get in there and rip his fucking head off and shove it up his fucking ass.
Are you all listening to me? Labrys needs to face her shadow now, and...
This is going well at first, but now everyone's talking about different things and we're all completely off topic. Of course, that's unusual of all of us. I have to laugh. I apologize to Labrys that things didn't quite wrap up as I'd hoped. Labrys looks back at me with a blank expression. Can't she tell that we're not treating her any differently? I turn towards Aigis-san as she meets my gaze. She nods silently, then stands before Labrys. She seems slightly nervous.
Nice to meet you, Labrys. Or rather, sister. I am Aigis, the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. I am your successor.
That gives me shades of Batman Arkham City. I know your secret. I am your successor. Labrys jerks up and looks at Aigis-san. At the same instant, Yukiko gasps in surprise.
What? Excuse me, but you're... I mean, are you also...
Oh, come on, Yukiko. Susan, look at the fucking left shoulder! It's pretty obviously mechanical. And no, before anyone thinks I'm being biased here, it's not the same as a prosthetic that someone has. It's actually got mechanical gears and machine parts.
Yes, I too am a robot.
It just occurred to you now?
Thank you, best girl. Thank you very much, G.I. Weren't you with her all this time, Yukiko? How did you not notice something like that? That is so like you. Once again, everyone looks towards Aigis-san and Labrys, the non-human sisters. Oh, come on, the non-human. Why don't you call them like, I don't know, the mechanical sisters or the weapons sisters? Non-human? This is giving me shades of Detroit become human all of a sudden. Now that I see them stand together, there is something like a family resemblance. Maybe I've been wrong this whole time. If Labrys is Aigis-san's oldest sister, then should I be calling her Labrys-san? Well, I guess that doesn't matter.
My mission to retrieve you has brought me here. My colleagues are waiting for you.
Ah, the AI sisters. I like that one, actually. Yeah, the AI sisters, because I in Japanese means love. So that actually makes perfect sense. That's a much better title, Avian. That's a cracking idea.
Are they gonna lock me up again? Well, considering all I did, of course they will.
Labrys' expression darkens. I hadn't thought about it. But if Labrys and Aigis-san are treated as weapons, it's no surprise there will be measures to keep them in check. But Labrys shouldn't have to just accept it. If she truly is going to be locked up. I make up my mind and wait for what Aigis has to say next. But she smiles.
We can discuss that later. Right now, there is an important task you must carry out.
I gotta do this, huh?
Aigis-san quietly points at the shadow that has remained still while we've been talking. Labrys looks at the shadow that turns away and casts a gaze down at the ground again. I see. So now I'm gonna have to act. And I can, 'cause I'm the king.
It's okay. We're all right here with you.
I indicate with my friends that have gathered around her. I've been forced to fight against my friends, just as Labrys had in the past. But I've been able to endure the suffering that Labrys had not. Of course, I'd have been forced to fight to the death. But the biggest difference between Labrys and me is that I wasn't alone. What if I had been all alone in this place? What if everyone else had forgotten about me and I'd had to fight all alone? Just a thought of that hurt. Labrys had been forced to endure that pain. She must have thought there was no escaping it. But she'll be alright now. We're not going to reject her. It doesn't matter if she's a machine. She's not alone anymore.
Yeah.
Labrys slowly looks around at all the faces, searching each one for confirmation. Finally, she turns back to me and nods. Labrys then walks over to face her shadow. When she walks, she no longer seems to be bound by her fear. She then looks down at herself. She looks at the mechanical body that she had convinced herself she didn't have.
That's right. You're me.
Labrys and the shadow turn to face one another and stare into each other's eyes. And of course, now we've not got the background difference between them. They're both in the same shade, so it kind of goes full circle between the light and the darkness. She can't avoid looking at the shadow now.
You're the way I was on the inside, screaming to be understood. The pain wanting to be known. You're all I couldn't say. You were always inside me. You're me. A machine with a heart.
Another anime scene? Oh, this will be cool if they actually have an anime transformation.
I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone. No. You are me, after all.
Oh, okay. We got a bull there. Oh, that's a cool design.
This is my persona.
So that was a really cool design. She had, like, you know, the flowing cape and the white hair. It was almost like, it's almost like her version was more, her persona, interestingly, is like a human realization of herself. I really quite like that flip reversal. And you compare it to Shiva. Well, I've already mentioned difference, so it'd make perfect sense, wouldn't it? You're not wrong. Labrys accepted the existence of a shadow and attained a persona. It's finally over. We take Labrys with us and follow Teddy and Rise to the school's rooftop, where they say it's connected to the TV in Juness. The invisible walls are all gone. Perhaps there were walls like that wherever she came from, and she drew on that in making this place. But I have a feeling she's truly been freed from those walls now. As in confirmation, Labrys is slowly warming up to us, smiling more and responding to us when we start talking to her. When we reach the rooftop, we're surprised that the TV world has regained the studio-like appearance that we were accustomed to. However, there are two unfamiliar faces waiting for us. I'm guessing is that Mr. Nakahiko? I don't know if he interacted with them, Narukami, so that makes sense.
Mitsuru-san, Akihiko-san.
Yeah, I was right. These people have overwhelmingly intense presences, but thankfully, they don't seem to be enemies. The moment we see them, we tense up. But after Aigis-san calls out in recognition, we learn that they are her friends.
I'm Mitsuru Kirijo, Labrys' handler.
A bodysuit like something out of a movie, with a fur coat on top. It's a look that doesn't really work, but her name immediately reminds me of something. It's a look that doesn't immediately... That's the first thing he's thinking. The first thing he's thinking that it's a look that doesn't work. Narukami, the king of fashion. The Kirijo group. And if she has the same name, she must be quite an influential person in it. The research organization that developed Labrys and Aigis-san must belong to her.
I'm Akihiko Sanada. Sorry for all this trouble.
The man with the red cape appears to be quite comfortable with Mitsuru-san and Aigis-san. He must have been helping them fight shadows for some time. Is there some reason why people on the shadow extermination squads have to dress like crazy people? I mean, it has to be said, they have given the Persona 3 cast ridiculous looks, haven't they, in this game? It must be said. Yeah, I agree. As I say, Avian, naked cape doesn't work either.
So, what's going to happen to Labrys now?
Before we fully introduced each other, Yosuke asked Mitsuru-san what I've been wondering myself. I know all of us must be worried about this, but I was waiting for a good moment to bring that up. Even Yosuke seems to have realized how out of line his question is, and he shrinks back sheepishly, as if regretting having asked the question. Yeah, you say that when you say like opposite matches, like the colouring of Akihiko and Mitsuru, you mean? Yeah, it does make sense that, you're not wrong. I know why Yosuke's worried, but why does he have to keep stepping on landmines like this? Well, if he's already stepped on it, we may as well wait for the smoke to clear and see if there's any answer.
Well, you deserve to know. We were thinking of sealing her away again.
They were thinking. Did something change their minds? Mitsuru-san turns to Labrys. There's a smile on her face. But is she smiling for the reason we hope she is?
But our report from Aigis says that thanks to you, Labrys has acquired a persona. She's hardly a rogue test unit anymore. Besides, she has a heart. We would never treat anyone with a heart so poorly.
Yeah, we did it!
Thank goodness! I'm so happy for you, Labrys!
Why have we got Daidara's shop music playing? That's so out of place. I mean, it's in canon from Persona 4, don't get me wrong, but it just feels like a random soundtrack to play now. Well, as they're no longer teenagers, they have to dress strangely. Are you calling me out for my cosplays there, Avian? Is that what you're doing? Because you'd be correct to do so. My friends roar in excitement. Labrys looks around us all, bewildered before saying anything. Even though we've only known her for a very short time, we've already come to accept her as our friend. Mitsuru-san's words come as a great relief, as if I've been worried that she might lock me up too. Narukami, with the way you treat the girls, especially in the anime, I'd say most women would want to lock you up. And all the guys would be like, yes! The chat's finally out of our way!
Good job, guys. Let me say thanks.
Such a ridiculous look, isn't it? He speaks without any hint of concern, but I see a touch of gratitude in Akihiko-san's eyes. He certainly looks, how can I put it, bold, but he must be an honest and upright person. I guess I could call him stoic. There's a distinct briskness about him. There's no way that people so considerate would neglect the goodness of Labrys' heart. It seems that Labrys can believe everything she's hearing. She turns from Akihiko back to Mitsuru-san.
You're not gonna lock me up again? No fooling?
We only seal away objects. If I did that to you, knowing you have a heart, I'd be no different from the Kirijo Corporation of old. Labrys, you've been blessed with good friends.
Labrys looks stunned for a moment. Then she scrunches up her face as if about to cry. But then her face lights up with a brilliant smile. Who would think that anyone capable of making these expressions was just a machine? I find myself almost moved to tears as well. We're just about to leap forward and congratulate Labrys once again when... Labrys' head droops suddenly, like a puppet whose strings have been severed. I better rush over to see what the matter is. When I see Akihiko-san take a fighting stance, I realize that this is no ordinary matter. Suddenly, a bizarre voice emanates from Labrys.
It's not over yet.
Oh, okay. She's now got grey eyes, and someone else has hijacked her. That isn't Labrys' voice. This abnormality seems to have made Mitsuru-san come to a realization.
What? It's the same communication system as ours.
Everyone, step away from Labrys!
Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san rapidly shout instructions to us. We all spread out and watch Labrys from a distance.
I cannot gain access. She is being hacked.
I told you she's been hacked. Someone's hacked her.
It isn't coming from inside this facility. The signal originates elsewhere.
Somewhere else? Where?
You mean outside the TV?
How's that possible? Outside the TV? That's right. I cursed at myself I haven't forgotten what was supposed to have been the cause of all this. All this is going on because Labrys had someone placed into a TV. So there has to be someone outside who threw her in here. The same person who stole Labrys from the Corrijo group that threw her into a TV. He's now taking direct control over her. Yeah, but how can they control things inside the TV world? They've got the barrier between. It's why they've not been able to use personas in the real world. The only one who could do that, and again, if it's them, again, I'll be very disappointed. If it's the return of how Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden ended, I will be very disappointed. Extremely disappointed.
This is just a little extra resistance. Now, entertain me.
Have we got a final boss fight? The nonchalant voice fills me with menace. With a dazed look in her eyes, Labrys looks up, dashes forward. She's fast. I barely dodge her axe in time. Surprised, I look up at Labrys once more. Her eyes are blank, as if she wasn't looking at anything. I mean, could that be 024 maybe? Or perhaps that female researcher? Those eyes are once filled with strength and responsibility and awareness of duty. Her face had once been filled with sorrow over her painful past. And she smiled when she found friendship for the first time in her life. Whoever's controlling her has stolen all of this from Labrys. Then...
We'll save her no matter what you try.
I'm guessing it's another fight. So is this Labrys again? Ah, it's question mark, question mark, question mark with question mark, and then Ariadne as the persona. And again, how can the shadow control someone with a persona? Ouch. That hurt. Hang on, that was a Minotaur. That was a different persona. That wasn't her persona. That wasn't Ariadne. Oh, bollocks. That move that I like to use has been used against me. I'm not going to watch this. I didn't think I was. So we're going to have to reload the story, I think. It won't do a continue, or at least it didn't do last time. Unless we get a bad ending. No, we don't. We don't get a bad ending. That's annoying. I thought we'd have got a bad ending for that. It'd been quite nice. That was annoying because of the aerial moves. Hang on, what? Why would I want to do that? Hang on a second. I know what I need to do, just remembered. It's only take me a second, this, guys. I've not done this for a while, so I've forgotten. It rather confusingly has the load icon underneath. It doesn't just let you continue. That's how you have to do it. It's my own fault. That's my own fault. I mean, if this is the final boss, it's alright that it's going to be hard and you're going to get beaten a few times. That's okay. The lack of range is what's getting on my nerves here at the moment. Oh wow, I'm doing even worse here. I think I had the same idea at the same time then. Which is fine. What was that? Like an aerial move? She like threw cards at me. Oh well, if I'm gonna win, that's one way to do it. It felt cheap, but I managed to find a way to get through it.
My, she was quite easily defeated. Evidently, I didn't push her far enough.
Okay.
Well, she is a test unit, so this is as far as my little game goes.
What? Labrys has stopped moving. The only sound is a smug voice that continues to come from her. Those heartless words cause anger to boil up in me.
Who are you? Why are you toying with people's emotions like this? Labrys isn't a tool. If you want to fight, then come out and fight!
You're quite passionate. You, Narukami, was it?
This person, whoever he is, knows about me? Then maybe it isn't a coincidence that we were dragged into this. This revelation shakes all of us.
Labrys' shadow was only the mastermind of the tournament. I see now. You're the true culprit behind the whole thing.
Indeed. It was I who stole Labrys away. Since I don't have a persona and can't enter a TV, I needed a puppet that could run amok for me.
Okay.
Labrys' persona was only partially awakened, so I had a feeling her shadow would appear if she underwent a little suffering. You got the better of me this time. You deserve to know at least that much.
Enough is enough. I've never been so irritated, knowing that I can't do anything to whoever is controlling Labrys.
This time, so your scheme hasn't ended.
Well then, everyone, until we meet again.
The communication cuts off abruptly without answering me. Labrys immediately slumps to her knees. Before I can even begin to move, Aige-san is already at Labrys' side to support her. Aige-san looks at me and nods, confirming that Labrys is alright. Thank goodness. Labrys is okay. I feel a bit of strength drained from me. Still, the sword in my hands feels awfully heavy. Mitsuru-san sneaks up from behind me, even as I consider this.
It seems whoever our adversary is, they're connected to us. I advise you not to get involved in this matter any further. From here on, you should leave this to us.
What? Wait a second. We went through this whole big thing and that's it?
She's right. There's no way in hell we're backing out of this now.
I understand how you feel, but this is too dangerous for you. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. Trust in us and let us work.
My friends bristle at Mitsuru-san's proposal. After all, we come this far, and we already knew about the dangers. There's so much I want to say, but I can understand why they want us to stay away.
Guys, I think we can trust Mitsuru-san. We should let them handle this.
My friends respond with looks of shock. Of course they don't agree. But now's not the time to complicate matters. One of them should understand why I'm backing down so easily. I stare directly into Yosuke's eyes for a moment, hoping that he understands my intention here. Come on, Yosuke, back me up!
Yeah. We're all tired, so let's just get the heck out of here.
Yosuke, you're meant to be my bro. You've really fucked this one up. Smooth, Yosuke. Oh well. I sneak a glance towards Mitsuru-san and the others seem to pitch up on this, but none of them appear to have noticed. Yes, they have, Narukami. They're just rolling their eyes going, you idiots. Mitsuru's dealt with Junpei. She knows the tricks. Maybe they're just pretending not to notice. Well, in any case, it means we've been let go for now. I sigh of relief before urging everyone to exit the TV. When I return to the real world, exhaustion from the events of the day catch up to me. I'm more tired than I'd expected. Then again, I've been fighting all this time. It can't be helped. Everyone else seems tired too, so we decide to go our separate ways for the day. Still, everyone is safe, Labrys included. It'll still be a while before his case is completely closed, but I think we can assume that the disturbance has been settled for now. I worry about the mastermind that had taken control of Labrys, but I need a rest for now. When I get back home, Nanako greets me with a bright smile. The moment I see that, all the exhaustion of the day hits me, along with a profound sense of relief. I can't help myself from staggering. Nautical and my uncle were worried a bit by that, but that doesn't bother me at all. There was something I wanted to do in my room, but I haven't been in my room for even an hour when my awareness melts in the darkness. A dream? No, that's not it. My vision is quietly enveloped by a familiar blue color. This is the Velvet Room. Here we are. We're back in the car.
actions you took, the way you withstood this trial, it truly shook me to my core.
Yep, there's Margaret, the oldest of the Velvet Room attendants. At least I think she is, anyway.
You have bested the misfortunes dealt to you and learned an important lesson.
Well, they say the Velvet Room attendants. The oldest, of course, is Igor. He's the man. Margaret is smiling more than usual and appears to be blushing slightly as well. I only did what came natural to me, 'cause I'm the king. But she must have discovered something more than that. The path that leads past the door we've opened, the door to the future. I don't know what it is for sure, but I have a good idea that we've taken our first steps on it. I nod in understanding, and Margaret continues.
Now, I have a personal matter to discuss with you, not as a resident of this room. The one with malicious intent who struck at you today. This malice has not faded or subsided in the least. I'm worried about you. It may be that fate will deal you a third trial. Do you have the resolve to face it?
Right, if you're confused in the audience about the third trial, this confirms now that Persona 4 Arena takes place after Persona 4 Dancing All Night. There was a story mode in that one as well, which I was tempted to do as a stream, because I've got it on PS5. The only problem is, I've played it, so I know the story, so it wouldn't be blind. So, if you're really interested in seeing it, let me know in the comments and I might look at broadcasting it in the future.
You are strong. I will never cease to find you intriguing. It seems my fears were groundless. I'm already anticipating our next meeting. Until then, farewell.
Margaret smiles once more, and my vision begins to fade. The dream is ending. I fall into a deep sleep. I wake up to my phone ringing. According to the call, I was supposed to meet up at the outskirts of the shopping district, at the crossroads in front of a gas station. When I arrived, the other members of the investigation team had already shown up. Surprisingly, the one who was called us was Labrys. She wanted us to come so that she could say her farewells to us.
Ooh, is that it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Oh man, it's so long. What the heck kind of car is that? How does it even turn corners?
A long limousine drives up to us with surprising speed. It's so long that I can't believe it was able to handle the country roads of Inaba. I don't think I'll ever see another automobile like this in my life. The limo slows to a stop and smoothly parks beside us. And check it out, people! Mitsuru is a baller because she has a Mercedes. That will be a Mercedes Maybach, I reckon. Mitsuru-san climbs out of the back seat and nods to us. Labrys and Akihiko-san are in the back seat as well.
You're looking good, Labrys.
Sorry I made you come here all of a sudden, but there was something I really wanted to tell you guys.
When I look at her, Labrys smiles and looks embarrassed. She takes a moment to look around at all of us, then continues.
I decided to work with Mitsuru-san. I want to catch the darn culprit. Not only that, but, you know how you guys had my back during this whole mess? Yeah. This time, I want to get yours.
You go and do that.
I can't help but smile at the conviction and trust in her words. Labrys has faced her weakness and accepted it, and she's about to begin walking towards the goal she found on her own. That's why I don't see any reason to stop her. It'll be sad to see her go, but this decision is one Labrys made for herself.
This definitely ain't the last you've seen of me. When I come back, we'll hang out some, okay?
I'll be waiting, and so will everyone else.
Come back soon.
To lose such a rare beauty again, it's so tragic.
Fail.
That's what you're sad about?
Everyone has their own response to Labrys' news. But one thing's for sure, we'll be waiting for her. There's no lie behind that sentiment. After all, she is our friend. Mitsuru-san tells Labrys that it's time, and they get back into the limo. Labrys looks me right in the eye. She seems as if she might cry at any second, but is resolved not to. She smiles.
You guys are the best. I'm glad it was you who were there when I woke up. Well, see ya!
Man and machine. I wonder if there's truly a difference between them anymore. The thought comes to me as we wave our final goodbyes to the Labrys. The limo demonstrates impressive agility as it speeds off down the narrow rural roads.
Aw, she's really gone. Seriously, wish she could have stayed a little longer.
I would have liked that myself, but they have their own tasks that must be done.
Yosuke and I share a glance after Naruto says that. Their own tasks, huh? It's not just theirs. We smile at each other. Ever since I answered Mitsuru-san's proposal inside the TV, I've had my mind made up. Yosuke already knows how I think. Then again, that conversation wasn't very long ago. It had only been this morning. I don't know how she found my number, but after Labrys' phone call earlier, I decided to cook breakfast for Nanako and my uncle. Nanako hears me making noise in the kitchen and stands next to me excited.
I'll help too.
Oh, not Nanako and Big Bro cooking together. I panic for a moment when Nanako reaches for the other cutting board and a knife. I consider stopping her, then decide not to. Wow, really responsible, Big Bro.
If you're gonna use the knife, be careful, okay? Make sure you don't cut yourself.
I mean, to be fair, Nanako probably is the most adult member of the household.
Uh-huh. I'm always careful when I cook with you.
Nanako picks up a cucumber from the counter and begins slicing it diagonally. Her skills are still clumsy and unsteady. Why does he use a knife? She's 9 years old, maybe! Take the sharps off her! But all I can do is caution her about how to hold the knife, and then I watch her work without intervening. Wow, you are a jerk! She doesn't have to become a master all at once, but she has to avoid slicing her fingers off! All it takes is constant progress, little by little. The same can be said for me or anybody. Even though things may hurt us and we may want to give up, we just have to keep trying, as many times as it takes, until we see our goals through. Instead of nothing changing, I wish to see everything changing, along with myself.
Oops, sorry, Nanako. Could you put the knife down for a second?
Okay.
I sure Nanako's put down the knife before I answered my phone. I didn't have to look at the screen to know who was calling.
Hello? Is this Yosuke?
Like you don't know. Listen, about yesterday.
I thought this was coming.
Yosuke rushes on, as if irritated that we have to have this conversation over the phone, but I managed to calm him down. It's funny that he's getting so excited over this, but I'm glad he managed to wait until the whole night before calling me. As you say, yes, she only has 10 fingers, Avian, and we don't want them cut.
Yosuke, do you remember the Moonlight Bridge? The one from our class trip?
Yeah, sure. I used to be a city boy too, remember? Hey, were you checking out the Kitty Joe group online?
Perceptive as always. Now that's my partner. When I went back to my room last night, I'd spent as much time as I could searching for information about the Kitty Joe group online before I fell asleep. Of course, there wasn't anything about an organization involving Labrys or Aigis-san, but the little I did find was better than nothing. Yosuke asked me if I plan to go back on my word to Mitsuru-san and the others. I did say that we ought to trust them to solve this mystery, but I never said we should let them do it alone. After all, The person behind everything may be after us. On top of that, they were using us in horrific ways.
Can't back down from this, right?
Now you're talking, partner.
Yosuke and I continue to talk. We know that we're getting closer and closer to a battle with an enemy we haven't even seen yet. There's only one thought in my mind. No matter what kinds of hardship awaits us on our path, we will continue to fight on. As long as we have friends that will walk on the path alongside us. Nanako watches me talk on my cell phone and smiles.
You seem excited, big bro.
I smile back at her innocent face before making a confident declaration.
The investigation team is back in action.
That sounds like an end credits. Yeah, it is. Okay. Right, so interestingly, that's the end credits there, which teasing that the story carries on. So that's going to tell me now that what it did, when we beat the Labrys route, it said that certain characters could continue from the cliffhanger. So I think we've still got Yosuke, Chie, Yukiko, and Kanji. I think them four at least have ones that carry on. And with the way that Naoto's story ended as well, tells me that they get unlocked as well. So we're still nowhere near done. And with the declaration that the investigation team's back in action, does that mean there's a new game plus? It could mean that. But however, I think it's more because when this series ends, we're not done. I also have Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. The story continues. I've been sat on that one for a while. I'm sure I've heard this song before, but I'm not sure where. I know where I've heard it. I've heard it in Persona 4 Dancing. That's where I've heard it. I knew I'd heard this somewhere before, but it's a different version of it I'd heard. So we'll let the credits play out and then we'll go back to the next game. And what we'll do is we will pick up with one more member of the investigations team. I'm actually surprised that it carried on as long as it did, because obviously we had the fight with Labrys. And then it just didn't seem to end. It was almost like it was setting up for you've now done that one, beat everybody else, and then carry on the story. So I'm actually quite impressed there was so much extra content. And I feel like in many ways I'm back playing Steins Gate. You know, we've got one ending, now we go back to the game, carry it on, get a new path, get another ending, and keep going on. So, yes, that's what it feels like at the moment. Yes, there he is, the Shadow Teddy, the Dark Lord himself. As I say, it's interesting with the designs that have come forward. Like for that Persona, I think it was called Ariadne. It turned up in the second battle. It was named. As you compared it to Shiva Avian. Wasn't quite the same vibe I was going for. And again, I think I've seen that before. I think it might be a DLC Persona that you can get in Persona 5 Royal. So it looks familiar. When I saw it, the first time I saw it, I thought, I'm sure I've seen that Persona before. And of course we've got all the cast of characters of who plays who. I'm just disappointed we didn't see Metis come back. That'd have been cool. It'd have been cool if Metis returned. Only because she's the best anti-shadow weapon. Yes, I said it. Metis is better than Labrys and Aegis. Snowbeaver's going to kill me. A random fly there, people. I do apologise. When they stop this close to your eye and you're like, go away, leave me alone. Are we done? Are we finished? It doesn't look like it. In Mayanaka Arena, the P1 Grand Prix in Mayanaka Arena.
This program was brought to you by the following sponsors.
And yes, all this time, people, we've been watching TV. How meta is that?
Welcome to the Velvet Room. This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. Now then, why don't you introduce
So as you can see, we've now unlocked the other ones as well to continue the cliffhangers. So we've got cliffhangers for all the characters to go by. And the Kingpin, of course, is a reference legendary to the anime episode, I can, 'cause I'm the king. So we're going to pick up with Yosuke's story. We'll do him next.
I wish you good luck.
And from the same position, we're going to pick up from the cliffhanger. So in his cliffhanger, he'd believed his own shadow came back, and he beat it, and then we'd seen the metamorphosis. So a lot of this scene might seem quite familiar. When a new girl says Labrys, Miss President opens her mouth, trembling.
My name is Labrys? Labrys.
In an instant, her pale face flushes with comprehension. She looks down at her mechanical limbs and her face twists into a bitter expression. In the meantime, the shadow glares at the other robot girl.
Don't tell me you're... Yes, I am the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Aegis. I am the model that came after you.
Huh. So you're here to seize her. Well, I won't let you. I'm sick of that place. I'm going to be free. Isn't that right, me? Won't that be better than letting the Kirijo group capture you again? Kirijo. Capture?
The president blankly repeats the shadow's words. She turns to me, her eyes filled with desperation.
I wasn't human?
I should answer her. And I tried, but nothing comes out of my mouth. In that moment, I could feel our fates ripping apart.
I won't be caged! I will take my freedom!
The shadow's arm suddenly shoots out across the room. It connects it to her by a long chain and it catches Miss President Labrys in it. The chain reels in, like it was connected to a winch, dragging her along. And of course, we know exactly what that looks like from when we played through the Labrys campaign to unlock this mode. The shadow grabs Labrys and lifts her onto his shoulders. In the next moment, the shadow bursts out of the announcement room. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That was fast. I can't believe she's carrying twice her own body weight.
Wait!
The other robot, Aegis, falls right behind. That just leaves Risei and me, and a whole lot of questions. What the hell am I supposed to do now? The student council president is a human, but some kind of weapon? And there's another robot girl.
Ow!
Something smacks me in the back. It's Risei. She's staring at me with flushed cheeks.
Senpai, aren't you gonna go after them?
After them? Yeah, why am I spacing out? Of course I can't just let stuff in like this. So what if she's not human? So what if she's not what I'd imagined? She believed in me. She trusted me. And yet, I completely failed her. I'm not gonna let it end now. Not a chance in hell.
Thanks, Rise.
She didn't get to be a celebrity for nothing. She's really got some guts. It sure is great to have friends to root you on.
I'll back you up from here. Good luck.
So also we're going back into the halls now, people. I nod with determination. I'll leave Rise alone in the announcement room and run out of the hole in the wall. I can't match their speed, but I know where they're going. When the shadow left the room, she turned toward the stairway. If she was going to head downwards, it'd be faster to make for the fire escape in the other direction. So while there isn't a whole lot to go on, I think I could guess where they're going. To the roof! As I hover puff my way up the stairs, I see the door to the roof is open, just as I thought. But when I got there, I didn't see what I expected to. It took my breath away. It looks like a studio, like that place. This is the entrance to this world we used up until the spring. It went away after we solved the mystery last year, but it must have come back when Labrys entered the TV and created the school. I guess that when everybody saw the Midnight Channel, they all became less interested in it like last time. That's why it looks exactly the same.
You're here.
In the middle of the arena, Aigis in the shadow, still carrying Labrys through the standoff. Labrys is silent. She looks conscious, but her eyes are empty, as if she's given up trying to understand anything. The shadow smiles when she sees me and snaps her fingers. Suddenly, the area is enveloped with a strange presence.
What? The Grand Prix isn't over yet. If you want to chase me, you'd better fight each other.
Oh.
Wait!
I try to chase after the shadow, but I run into another invisible wall. This crap again? The shadow disappears back into the school building. Damn it! It looks like I just helped her buy more time. The Grand Prix isn't over? Don't tell me I gotta fight more to keep going. So now I have to fight this robot, Aigis? I timidly ask her. Hell, I don't know anything about her other than her name. First, I need to find out what the hell she's doing here.
Is it true you came to capture her?
You're Captain Resentiment. Yosuke Hanamura, correct?
Wage slave of the boonies by day, hero by night, Captain Resentiment, Yosuke Hanamura. God, I love that intro. She knows me, and she knows about the Resentiment part. Someone kill me.
I saw you in the video advertising this tournament. The one showing the people currently in this world.
Did you now?
Still, Resentiment, huh? It still really pisses me off, but to be honest, it's not that far from the truth.
Normally, I would recommend that you evacuate at once, but neither of us can leave. I must go after her.
What a coincidence. Me too.
But this has nothing to do with you.
I may not have meant to, but I hurt that girl. She was depending on me, and I turned my back on her.
Not a human? A robot? So what? That's what I wanted to say to her, but I couldn't.
That's why I need to go and apologize.
When I say that, Aigis' expression relaxes. It's a really natural expression, very human-like. Labrys' face was like that too.
I think I should explain certain things to you. I'm not authorized to disclose everything, but...
She slowly begins to speak. Apparently, there were incidents involving shadows and personas outside Inaba too. They didn't start recently either. But they made an unofficial squad to deal with stuff like that, and Aigis belongs to that group. She's a weapon, created solely to fight shadows. She was given a soul so that she could summon a persona, the only method of dealing with shadows. Miss President, Labrys was a prototype, but she went AWOL. Holy crap! I mean, after last year, I'm ready for any kind of crazy story, but this still takes me by surprise. Of course, it's not all that hard to believe when one of the robot girls is standing right here in front of me. But still.
There are shadows outside the TV too?
We would never have realized that a television could lead to a space like this.
Well, I'm surprised by what you just told me, so I guess we're even.
Yes, the invisible walls, you know how Yosuke feels, Avian. Invisible walls, don't we hate them? Yes, we do. A lot. I tried joking and smiling, but Aigis doesn't smile back. She looks straight at me. Her eyes are filled with strength. I can tell that she's measuring me up. Come to think of it, Labrys looked at me the same way when we first met. I remember thinking, man, those eyes.
Hey, please tell me, what's going to happen to Labrys once you catch her?
I cannot answer that.
Aigis hesitates before answering, like she has to squeeze it out of her throat. That pause says more to me than her words.
If you have no other questions, then let us begin the battle. There isn't any time to spare. Please don't resist. I can knock you out painlessly if you comply.
And all the simps are going, yes, mummy. Whereas I'm like, bring it.
Yikes. But hey, can't back down.
I act cocky, so they won't get scared. But when I smile, I know that I can't just let it beat me.
Are you really going to fight a living weapon like myself? I do not mean to boast, but your chances of success are low.
I'm still a guy. And guys should help out crying girls, right?
Wow. God, you can tell this was written in the macho era, can't you? For some reason, this brings a smile to her face. Then, I had a thought. Was she trying to scare me to keep me from getting into something dangerous? Perhaps this is her way of being kind to me. Well, if it is, it's not going to work. I'll never forgive myself if I was sent home now. I lose something important to me. I've already made my decision. Maybe Aigis sensed that resolution in me, because she takes a fighting stance.
I understand. I accept your challenge. Here I come.
So say his is only at chapter 12, so it's a question of how long his is going to be. Jiraiya versus Athena.
Damage! Heavy damage! My other self! Guarding! Heavy damage! Light damage! Here we go! Here we go! Severe now! Heavy damage! Damage! Severe impact! Severe damage! Cannon! Let's get started! Here we go! No! Damage!
Sorry, Aigis. Chances of success low? You're wrong. My shoulders bounce up and down as I wipe sweaty face on my sleeve. I'm completely out of breath.
Well done. I'm surprised you defeated me.
Well, Avia, no worries. You crack on, and hopefully you can get through to the end relatively smoothly. Work is like that. I have to go in early tomorrow. I'm in the office, so I've got to make sure that I'm not on too late tonight.
But this may have been for the best.
Huh?
You are truly concerned for her, even after discovering that she's a living weapon. Your sympathy is much more impressive than that of a fellow machine like myself. Such consideration is immeasurably warm and cherished for us.
Agnes' voice is gentle, but she also sounds a little sad. I sense like she's carrying a burden I can't imagine. I don't know what to say, but she gives me another of those soft smiles.
I met my own friends once, and reached my own answer. I was thinking of telling my sister of these experiences.
Oh, she's your sister.
But I think it's better that you tell her instead.
Will I be able to do that? Wouldn't it be better for Aigis to go? No, the answer's already there. I have to face Labrys, for Aigis' sake as well. I look straight into Aigis' eyes to show my determination.
I don't know if I have the answer you're talking about, but there is something I want her to know.
Yeah, I'm loving the reference back to Persona 3 FES by referencing the answer directly.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it across. But when I was going through tough times, I had my friend...
Son of a bitch. That was such an awesome speech and I muffed the last word. Silence ensues.
Friend,
Dude, you pick up on everything?
pure disappointment when you open your mouth. Now I understand.
How do you know about that?
My database is perpetually being updated. Even as we speak, I am receiving information about you from the server.
Who's spying on him and why?
Known for wearing a trash can on his head. I cover
Again, if anyone's seen the very beginning of Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden, you'll know exactly what that's referencing.
Wait, how come all this information about me is bad? And what's this server you're talking about?
To think you would have such hobbies. The possibilities of man are truly infinite.
That's not...
Senpai, can you hear me?
A transmission from Rise. That's right. Now's not the time to be acting stupid.
Loud and clear. Did you pick up Labrys' trail?
She's headed for the announcement room again. I'm gonna get out of here while I can.
The announcement room again? At first I was worried about Rise, but now I think about it, as long as she can use her persona to track the enemy, she's safer than anybody in here. Alright, time to catch up! If the Shadow needed to make us fight stall for time, it means she's still got something up her sleeve. I slapped my cheeks to wake myself up a bit. I'll finish it this time!
I entrust Labrys, my sister, with you.
As I'm leaving, Agnes' voice calls out from behind me. Her words relieve me.
I don't know, that you were gonna capture her and lock her up somewhere. Her shadow was talking about how she didn't want to be caged again, and that she wanted to be free. But you don't seem like the type to do that. I think you really do have her best interests in mind. I'll bring Labrys back to you, whatever it takes, Aiga-san.
Hanamura-san, thank you.
Look at that. Labrys does have a place to go. Yeah, she doesn't belong here in this made-up school. I bow to Aigus to start running again. I returned in the announcement room and opened the door. All I saw was Labrys, sitting alone in the middle of the room. Her mechanical legs are splayed on the floor, and she seems to be mumbling something happily. Okay, that's not right. The Shadow is nowhere to be found. Where is she watching from? To believe this to my suspicion, Labrys starts talking to me in a cheerful, but almost lifeless voice.
Oh, it's you, Yosuke-kun. What's wrong? Shouldn't you be in class?
You're not thinking straight. We're inside the TV world. You're not the student council president.
What are you talking about? I came here to broadcast a student council announcement.
Labrys looks up with empty eyes. She's no longer in a human form. But her stuck-on smile is painful to look at. That's not her real smile. I take a deep breath.
Labrys. That's your name. You know that, right? Let's go back and put an end to this fake world.
Why? Why are you saying that stuff?
Labrys' eyes finally look at me clearly. She looks at reality.
I want to stay here. This is the only place I can belong.
Labrys slowly stands up and puts her arm behind her back. She removes her wings and they expand to form a giant axe.
I won't go back. I'm gonna stay here forever and ever.
She brings down her axe with incredible speed. To swing a huge chunk of steel like that so easily, that's just not humanly possible. I mean, I expected as much, but I can't go easy on her.
I'm sorry I have to do this. I'll apologize as much as you want later. But right now, I've got to stop you with everything I have.
Here we go. Looks like we're now fighting Labrys.
Finally!
Oh dear. Wow. But then again, she didn't have a persona, so...
Why? Why can't I stay like this?
What good will it do for you to forget everything? You know that you're trying to ignore the truth and that you're lying to yourself. That'll only bring you more pain.
Labrys drops to the floor, crying her heart out. I know this is for her own good, but seeing it hurts me deep down inside. Labrys looks at me with eyes filled with misery.
You wouldn't understand. No one can understand how I feel. That's right. They'd never understand.
An anonymous voice butts into our conversation.
Shadow. So you were nearby after all.
Why wouldn't I be? I'm her.
Damn. Wherever she is, I can't see her. Where's she hiding? As I'm looking around... Oh, okay. Oh wow, I love that factory conveyor belt. That was awesome. When the darkness disappears, the scenery is changed completely. The view outside the window has changed to something weird and creepy. A piercing red light fills the room.
What's going on?
What is that? Some giant metal container, like a furnace, and something's being tossed into it like garbage. I look closer to see that the garbage looks like arms and legs. Hey, it looks like people! I try to calm the horror I feel creeping upon my spine. I just don't know how to describe it. All I can say is that whatever this place is, it's nasty. This isn't the announcement room anymore. As I was fixated on the view outside, the shadow appears silently from the corner of the room.
And I still need her, so I can become myself.
She approaches me as she talks. Her face is illuminated by two things: the red light from the room outside and the madness in her eyes. I back away in spite of myself, but the shadow ignores me, drawing closer to Labrys. Shoot, that's right! Labrys hasn't said the words that the shadows need to hear. Her shadow hasn't gained true power yet. That's why she was trying to buy time.
Forgetting was your only escape route, but that's been stolen from you too. Poor pitiful me.
Labrys' shadow turns and begins regaling her. Her lips are at Labrys' ear, her words tugging at her heart.
You made them go through the same pain, but in the end, they still didn't understand.
The same pain?
It was so painful. It made you so sad. You hated destroying.
Destroying them? I take another look at the horror show outside the window. The broken human figure is being thrown into the incinerator. This is a sight Labrys' heart created, right? Then that means this is... I suddenly felt like I grasped the weight that Labrys was bearing in her heart, and I could see how heavy that weight was. The shadow takes a quick glance at me and continues speaking.
He was forced to fight his friends too, but he didn't feel the despair that we did. He wasn't alone, after all. He's completely different from us. You're not human or an ordinary machine. We don't belong anywhere, and we'll always be alone. No one will ever understand us. Please stop!
The shadow needs to have Labrys deny that they're the same. I knew that. I couldn't stop her. I quietly watched the two of them talk.
I'm not alone. I'm not. If they don't understand, who will? The only ones who could were all destroyed by our own hands. No, that was you, not me. You're not me.
Oh, there it is.
I'm free now. No one can capture me. I'm truly free.
Well, there it is. The shadow goes wild and strikes Labrys, knocking her aside. I catch her from behind. Labrys looks up at me a bit surprised, but the look in her eyes is frail, ready to fade away at any moment. I smile at her.
Don't worry. It's okay if you can't at first. It's really hard to accept yourself. The only reason I could do it was because I had friends to help me. It would have been impossible to do on my own. I'm here with you now. And you've got Aigis-san too. We'll help you face yourself.
The shadow's shape is a bit of a surprise. That shadow didn't change with some of the monster behind her. What the hell, man? That's like a persona. And it's pretty damn gigantic. Just looking at it makes me feel weak in the knees. It's at least 3 times my size. The shadow's eyes glow gold as she turns her wigs into an axe, like Labrys had. Crap! And it was hard enough just fighting a robot girl with just the axe. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm having a hard time thinking I could take her on by myself. But something pops up in the back of my mind. The faces of my friends, of Aigis. Everyone has entrusted me with all their hopes. I get ready to fight. Power surges through my body. Alright, now it's my turn to work.
I'm gonna save you no matter what. And when we make a promise like that, we keep it.
So here comes Jiraiya as we get ready to fight. Ah, Asterios, so she got a different persona. Is she wildcard then? Asterios and Ariadne? Now that's interesting because that's save 18, which now tells me there's one more to match Narukami. The shadow finally starts moving and settles down. I run to Labrys and pick her up. She's still awake, but her expression is gloomy.
I'm such a failure. I can't win against anyone. I even let my shadow out. I'm a weapon, but I'm so useless. It would be better if I was just scrapped.
The lack of energy in her voice and body is enough to put me at a loss of words. Do I have it in me to convince her otherwise? That doubt came crawling back into my mind. But I still need to tell you. I open my mouth to put the heavy feelings in my heart into words.
Hey, there was someone I liked once, but she got killed. It was the worst thing you could imagine. I couldn't forgive myself or believe she was gone. I even tried to forget about her. I thought then that no one could understand how I felt. I mean, how could they if they weren't me? Only I could understand how I felt. That's what I thought. I had given up. But that wasn't true. Even if people haven't had exactly the same experiences, they can still understand each other. I have some great friends now to prove it.
Friends.
If I'm strong at all, it's because I have them. I can remember my friends are with me whenever it really counts.
Yeah, but I don't have that.
You should, though. There must have been someone who was important to you. Just think back.
Labrys' lips quiver and she shakes her head gently. A single tear was all it took. Like a clam breaking, she starts to cry.
They're all gone. I can't see them anymore. And it's all my fault.
Yeah, huh? That's what Shadow Labrys is getting at. She didn't just lose them. I don't know the details, but I'm gonna bet that she had to destroy someone herself against her will. I can't imagine the pain that would cause. But
I see. Could it be us? Your friends.
As I say that, I stretch my hands out to her. But Labrys looks away from me, and she won't even take my hand.
How? I'm not human.
Who cares? One of my friends is a shadow. Remember Teddy? The one who was acting like your knight? He was originally a shadow. And you have Aige-san with you too. I know she was really worried about you.
Really?
She raises her head and looks at me, but she still hesitates. Shoot, I really don't know what to say in situations like this. I bet you would have the best lines memorized just for occasions like this. Well, of course, 'cause he's the king. Okay, so I try something that sounds natural, no matter if it's particularly suave or not. Time to try a joke.
You know, my arm's gonna get tired leaving my hand out like this.
Labrys looks confounded for a brief moment, but it looks like I chose right.
You really are something, you know that?
With a smile, Labrys takes my hand. It's cold and hard, but it feels natural, because I know that it's the hand of a girl who's trying her best.
I'm not alone.
That's right. We'll be by your side.
Labrys nods her head and slowly stands up. I offer to help her up, but she pushes my arm away and walks toward a shadow. The shadow says nothing. It just stares at Labrys.
Wanting everyone to understand. You weren't wrong about how I feel. I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone. No. You are me, after all.
So what I want to know is, how does she have Astarius? That's the thing I want to know. Is she wildcard, or has she had a second awakening already? Because that'd be rock hard time if that was the case.
This is my persona.
Wow. It's such an elegant white silhouette. It's hard to imagine it was the same as that black, bold shadow. I was worried there might be something wrong, like she was damaged or something. But when she turns to me, I can see the strength in her eyes. I breathe a sigh of relief. I lift my face and cheerfully call out to her.
Well, let's get going. Back to where our friends are waiting.
You got it.
Now that she's accepted herself, she nods to me and smiles like when we first met. No, even brighter. Labrys accepted a shadow and the host disappeared. For a while I was worried about how the P1 Grand Prix was going to end, but it's all over now. So all that's left is for us to get the heck out of here. I hear from Rise that all those fantastic invisible walls have disappeared. Now I can go meet up with my buddies and Aige. Or so I thought. Led by Rise, you, Chie, and Yukiko all come running into the announcement room. Teddy, Kanji, and Naoto follow them. Way to rush things. But I guess I want to run around if I was stuck in a cage all day too. The investigation team is genuinely back together. Everyone's surprising to see Labrys. I mean, I can't blame them. She's a robot. I explain the circumstances to them. Labrys looks tense the entire time, but of course, none of us is going to be heartless enough to say she's not a person.
I lost in the very first round. I wish I could have fought a little more.
I'm glad that I didn't have to fight you, Chie. At least fighting against Yosuke-kun didn't trouble my conscience much.
Okay, let's all roast Yosuke moment, people.
Didn't?
There. She can say that because she loves you.
Pardon me if I don't share your optimism there.
These guys are all way too easy going. As I'm complaining, Kanji seems pretty enthusiastic.
We should do that again sometime. It ain't good for our bodies if we don't let our personas out once in a while.
But normal people can't let them out.
And I'll sponsor a real Grand Prix. I'll call it our very first Go on a Date with Teddy Grand Prix.
Oh, bruh, no. Not happening!
No one would enter.
How cruel.
Thank you, Yukiko. Teddy balls and throws herself into Labrys' arms, and she hesitantly opens her mouth to speak.
Can I sign up?
Don't.
Now her comment, Nix! No!
You shouldn't.
You know what? Count me in.
Oh, if you're in, then I'm in.
Huh? Well, then me too.
I'm out.
Damn it, you jerks.
Oh no, she's done Yukiko's laugh. Meh, whatever. As long as it makes Labrys smile.
Alright, it's time we go back.
Everyone cheers in agreement. We all head to the roof. I already know the roof is where the exit from the TV world was in the studio area. Plus, we can meet up with Aigis while we're there. All Teddy has to do is bust out the exit and we'll all be back at June S. We climb the stairs, and as I expected, Aigis is waiting for us. When she sees Labrys is safe, she smiles.
It seems everything has been resolved.
But a pair I've never seen before are standing behind her. They have intensely intimidating auras. I can tell they aren't normal people like me. I'm guessing they must be members of Aigis' team on the same mission as her.
It's over already. Still don't feel entirely satisfied though.
Don't be like that, Akihiko. Just be happy that it's over.
I take a closer look at them. One's an amazingly gorgeous woman, and the other's a buff guy who isn't too shabby himself. Yosuke has appreciation for all bodies, and that's awesome. And I guess it's pretty easy on the eyes too. Puts the three of them together, and they pack a real pack-a-punch. Yeah, so don't try anything, Yosuke. It will end very badly. And the way they're dressed, well, they pack a punch too, but in a different way. Especially Akihiko. What did they do to you? What happened to the suave red waistcoat and the jacket? The beauty in the fur coat steps forward and bows to me. At the same time, Labrys hides behind my back.
Hanamura, yes? You have my thanks for helping us retrieve Labrys.
Her tone is soft but articulate, intellectual and charming. But one of her words bothers me.
Could you maybe not use the word retrieve?
I'm a little scared to talk back to her, but I'm not going to budge on that one. She appears to have taken it back for a moment, then she smiles.
You're right. My apologies. I'm Mitsuru Kirijo, Labrys' handler.
Kirijo? I've heard that name somewhere before. Kirijo? Huh? As in the huge company Kirijo? I turned to Aigis for my answer. Picking up on what I wanted to say, she replied with a smile. Seriously? So the group she had mentioned was... Because we're all scared silly by the important name, Kirijo-san tells us, incredibly politely, that they were mostly the cause of the incident. She also explained what I wanted to know about most. How Labrys was going to be treated.
I'm not gonna be scrapped.
I have no plans to shut you down and destroy you. Kirijo-san's answer was in response to Labrys' question is so direct that she can't help but cheer. Labrys is more perplexed than happy. Kirijo-san takes Labrys' hand and lowers her head.
Indeed, you aren't. You have done nothing wrong. It's actually me who should be apologizing to you.
Oh no, you don't gotta do that. I felt like there was no getting around being sealed away again. I've made friends now, so I thought I could live with it.
Labrys.
I can't believe this is happening. This is all thanks to you. Yosuke, Kun.
And here's the hacking.
Labrys?
What the? Something's wrong with Labrys. Aigis and the others are all confused by Labrys' unnatural pause. I know she's been through a lot today. Did she break something? But Labrys speaks in a voice that none of us were expecting.
It's not over yet.
That's not Labrys' voice. It's this someone speaking through her mouth.
Is this the same communication system we use? Everyone, step away from Labrys.
Kirijo-san, surprisingly used to dangerous situations, warns everyone. At that moment, Labrys' hand moves, stretching toward the battle axe on her back. In the next instant, lifting the axe without hesitation, she swings right at me. That was faster than I've ever seen. Even the shadow wasn't that fast. The ground is split for several meters and fragments fly everywhere. What the hell? What's going on here?
Labrys! Hey, what's gotten into you?
I cannot gain access. She is being hacked. It isn't coming from inside this facility. The signal originates elsewhere.
You mean outside the TV?
This is just a little extra resistance. Now, entertain me.
Labrys' face completely expressionless as she points her axe at me.
What's happened to you, Labrys? Damn it, why do we have to fight now after making it this far? Ugh!
Again? Did I fail her again? That horrible thought crept back in the back of my mind. I frantically try to shake it out of my head as of my weapons. I try telling myself over and over, I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Damn it! Yep, let's place a bookmark.
Final. Fight.
This has got to be the end. Or has it? Is it the end? I don't know. It is now, surely. Damn it. I knew that was going to happen. I'm looking at all the P1 things in the background, but as I say, it seems that the first form it gets the drop on you, or at least gets the drop on me, should I say. First time. I don't mind the end. I don't mind that at all. I just got to remember to load here rather than die. It's also annoying that it pushes you back to the wrong character.
I wish you good luck.
But it's a minor inconvenience at most. So let's get back to it. Let's try again. Once we're done with the Yosuke mission, we'll probably look to wrap things up for tonight. Well, that was a million times easier this time. And interestingly, he's got to 20, whereas Narakami only got to 19 saves. That's interesting because he started lower than Narakami did. Labrys had stopped moving and fallen to the floor. Now she begins standing up robotically with jerking motions. She begins speaking in that eerie voice once again. Maybe speaking is the wrong word, but it's definitely in my head.
My, she was quite easily defeated. Evidently, I didn't push her far enough. Well, she is a test unit, so this is as far as my little game goes.
So whoever's voice this is the one controlling Labrys? From the way he was talking, I could tell he wasn't serious. He doesn't comprehend how cruel he's being by controlling Labrys like this.
Who are you?
Ah, yes. I have more than enough data now. I should thank you all. Although this didn't work out, you did stay in it to the very end.
Labrys' shadow was only the mastermind of the tournament. I see now.
You're the true culprit behind the whole thing.
In Hitsmer, Kirijo-san speaks. That's right. Labrys' shadow split from her after she entered the TV. She merely held the tournament. The shadow couldn't have pushed Labrys in here. Someone else, the culprit, has to exist or this incident could never have happened.
Indeed. It was I who stole Labrys away. Since I don't have a persona and can't enter a TV, I needed a puppet that could run amok for me. Labrys' persona was only partially awakened, so I had a feeling her shadow would appear if she underwent a little suffering. You got the better of me this time. You deserve to know at least that much.
He admitted it, but his tone was mocking. The culprit is controlling Labrys somehow from a safe haven outside the TV? No way!
Using Labrys for your own selfish reasons? That's horrible. She has a heart. Do you even know how much pain Labrys went through?
A heart, meaningless. Whether or not she has one matters not at all to my plan.
Bastard!
Well then, everyone, until we meet again.
The moment the voice stops, Labrys collapses to the ground, like a puppet with cut strings. Agus quickly catches her and holds her up. But it looks like she's unconscious.
Damn it!
I really hate myself for celebrating that the case was closed just a few moments ago. But I'm really pissed off at whoever was controlling Labrys. He knew about all of this, but he still manipulated Labrys' heart to do this to her. I'm so angry. I clench my fists so firmly that my nails are digging in my palms. Kirijo-san speaks from behind me.
It seems whoever our adversary is, they're connected to us. I advise you not to get involved in this matter any further. From here on, you should leave this to us.
Huh? Are you telling us to back off from this?
Like I could do that! Whoever's behind this knows what Labrys had to go through in the past. No, not just the past. He knew what would happen if she was pushed into the TV world. And on top of that, the instant he figured out his plan failed, he comes and controls it directly and makes us fight each other. It's like we're his toys. I'm not letting him get away with that!
I understand how you feel, but this is too dangerous for you. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. Trust in us and let us work.
Come on! We've gotten involved this far. You think we're just gonna shut up and watch you title everything? She's probably saying that for our sakes, but how can we live with ourselves if we do all the fight, let them do all the fighting for us? No way, I can't let that happen! I opened my mouth to really tell her off. But you spoke first.
Guys, let's leave this to them.
Huh? Are you serious?
Look at yourself, Yosuke. You can barely stand.
So he noticed. He was right. After all the fighting I've done today, I'm really beat. I'm sure everyone else is tired too, to be stuck in this world for so long.
Yosuke, let's go back.
You staring at me. Oh, I get it.
Thank you for your understanding. Don't worry, we'll keep you safe.
I'm sorry, Hanamura-san.
Agus bows apologetically. We all look glum, but none of us object. After all, we know that they aren't doing this out of spite. But is this the last we'll see of Labrys? I peek at her face as she lay in Labrys' Agus-san's arms. Of course, since she's unconscious, I can't talk with her. We thank Kirijo-san and return to our world with heavy hearts. After returning from the TV, we gathered at the food court. We didn't really talk much. We split up not long afterwards. After all, we're all pretty damn tired. Heck, Chie and Rise put their heads on the table and fell asleep. I didn't feel like stopping by anywhere, so I went straight home. And the last thing I could remember was being told dinner was almost ready. The instant I reached my room, I lost consciousness. And then loud electronic beeps brought me back into wakefulness. I reached out for my alarm clock, but I realized the beeping wasn't my alarm. It was my cell phone.
Who's calling me this early?
Damn it. I plugged it in and now I can't reach it while I'm lying down. Ugh. I rub my eyes tiredly and get up to grab the phone. The caller is a number I don't know.
Hello? Huh?
I was awake instantly. The speaker on the line was someone I never expected to hear from. And yet, there we are again, Yosuke's messing around with his bike, complete with the Atlas Easter egg on the frame. SGJ48, a reference to the band AKB48, a Juness bag. We also have another pin-up in the back corner, which just simply says Summer Vacation. I've no idea. And then we also have Teddy's regular clothes, and he even has his Alice outfit. So there's plenty of Easter eggs in there. I take a minute to fix my hair and make a mad dash to the place the caller told me to go. When I reach the designated location, there's someone that's completely out of place here in the countryside. A limo. Holy crap, that's long! It was so long I thought I was seeing things. Yeah, this is definitely no place for a car this awesome.
Oh, there he is. What took you so long?
It looks like everybody else is already here. I ran so hard I almost barfed, but I finally made it.
Labrys and the others were just about to leave.
I made it in time.
I'm glad I could see you before I left.
That's right. Labrys is the one that called. She wanted to say goodbye before she leaves Inaba. How can I refuse that? Still, I never thought one of them, Labrys especially, would call me. Huh? Wait a second.
Huh? Did I tell you my cell phone number?
Obtaining the cell phone numbers of ordinary citizens is child's play.
And there's Aigis back in a business suit, look. Wait, what?
Holy shit, really? Are you accessing that server thing you mentioned?
The Kirijo group is kinda scary.
I'm with you, Chie. Best girl is right on this one.
I asked if I could come see everyone. I wanted to give everyone a real goodbye.
Labrys looks down bashfully as she speaks. Aigis and Kirijo-san are watching her from the limo with smiles on their faces. Man, this is a relief. So Labrys can do things that she wants to. I'm glad she's in a group that lets her have freedom. She really does have a place to belong.
What'll you do now? Are you going back to that lab?
No, I decided I'm gonna work with Mitsuru-san and them. I want to do my damnedest to catch whoever used me to bait a trap for you all.
There's no hesitation in her eyes as her strong will glares out. I see. She found what she wants to do.
Sounds like you're ahead of the game.
I'm reminded of the blank career choice paper still tucked away in my desk. That sense of haste without direction, that need to give up appearances. I didn't want to handle that. But maybe it's time to face my future. Oh, I'll write down a big dream.
What do you mean?
Oh, just talking to myself. I'll let you know when everything's been decided.
Okay. Just make sure you tell me, okay?
Labrys answers my smile with one of her own. Then she stretches out her hand. I take a closer look at them. They're quite delicate. I grab her hand and lift it above her head.
A handshake is so formal. I'll show you what the cool kids do.
I use my hands to open up hers. Labrys looks confused, but she lets me move her hand around.
Huh? Like this?
Yep, that's it.
Here we go! The clap of our high five echoes through the clear May sky. Not to be outdone by me, Chie, Rise, and the rest give Labrys high fives too.
Everyone, thank you so much. Yosuke-kun, I won't forget about you. I'm friends with you now, so I'll stay strong.
Labrys begins to tear up, and to hide it, she hurries into the limo. Soon after, the limo begins moving quietly down the road. Labrys waves from inside the car. Even after the car's gone pretty far, I can still see her waving from inside. She's still waving. Whoa, she's still waving! Everyone starts to laugh a little. Can she see us? I can barely make out the car from here. But she's using the cameras to watch you. Oh, that's cool. We got a Juness party reunion. They're all eating takoyaki and drinking soda. That's fantastic. At the party with Labrys, we all ended up hanging out at Juness's food court. That's right. It's welcome back party for you we completely forgot about. We finally can get back to business. But still, it feels kind of weird. Having a welcome back party after saying goodbye to someone.
Come on, let's hurry up and do a toast. I only get a 30-minute break.
Huh? You working today?
I can't take much time off during Golden Week. Teddy, you were out without permission a couple days ago, so be ready to pay the price.
No, but that wasn't my fault. You meanie jerk nurse lover.
Oh, speaking of which.
Shh, quiet, you.
How did the conversation go from working and wanking into They actually put that in? Wait, what? Did they actually put that in the game? Your eyes are not deceiving you. Sorry for breaking character, that's just too sudden. Wow. I mean, it's kind of not wrong, but at the same time, how did that get in the game? What the fuck? I don't need him knowing this stuff. There's no time. Before anyone can ask you what he's talking about, I raise my cup and look at everyone.
Well, second time's the charm. Welcome back.
Welcome back, senpai.
After we toast, we all check carelessly with each other. This is the kind of atmosphere you can only get with the best of friends. But actually, that's not all today. After all, we can't let it end like that.
Ahem. May I have your attention, please? It's time to announce the reason we're all here today.
Isn't it to welcome back Yukon?
You and I trade glances at Yukio's question. I can see in my partner's eyes that he wants me to do all the talking. You see, we've already talked this out. And now's the time to bring it up.
It's about yesterday's incident. You guys weren't satisfied with how things ended, right?
Of course not. But
So, why not launch our own investigation?
does that mean
That's right. The investigation team is back in action.
Oh, now you're talking.
Wait a moment. I thought we were going to leave this to the Kirijo group.
I lied.
Did I say we wouldn't get involved?
That's right. He only said to leave this to them.
Oh, you're right.
Actually, my partner here brought it up first, though I'm with him 100%.
Now that's our sensei.
Yukio and Teddy jumped right on board. On the other hand, the we're actually sensible team of Chie, Rise, and Naoto are sitting with their mouths wide open.
You're splitting hairs rather finely there.
It seems she was definitely not expecting you to use weasel logic like this. But no matter how I think about it, I just can't let this go. After all, we've been through, the villain is still out there, waiting for another chance.
So you're not on board?
Agaran, and though she looks hesitant at first, she smiles fearlessly.
Of course I am.
I like that smile. That's what a reliable detective should look like.
Thought so. Alright then, let's find the real culprit.
Yeah!
Everyone's hands pile up in the middle of the table. Friends are really what you need. Whoa, it's already this late? I look at everybody smiling, and no one will listen to go. I stand up.
Well, I gotta get back to work. Come on, Teddy, let's go.
Who's this Teddy you speak of? I don't know anyone with such a pretty name.
You've got some nerve trying that on me. Sounds like someone wants me to make his next shift a living hell.
It's not a case of Karen asking for the manager, Teddy. Karen is the manager. Get to work.
Ah! No! But I'm still gonna skip work! I wanna have fun with Nana-chan!
Oh, no. He's a Nagi! Teddy clasps Yu's hand and promises to visit the Jima household tonight. Please, just this one night, he says. That's Teddy. Don't cause the Jima-san any trouble. But, well, I know the feeling. I never feel like break time is long enough either. Oh, preach, Yosuke. Preach. Break time is never long enough. You're not fucking wrong. But you all know why I keep my cool right now? I bet my dad to give Teddy and me tomorrow off. I just haven't told Teddy yet, that sucker. Yeah, that's right. We can't let this end here. It's still Golden Week.
We're gonna party till we drop. This time, for sure.
And I'm guessing that's going to be the end credits again now at this point. So I wonder if there's a way to actually skip them. I'm going to let them start playing, because I don't want to have them scroll twice, because we've already sat through them. Yeah, you can just skip them by pressing the start key, so that's kind of cool.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
Yep, and the Captain Chrysanthemum has now reached the end of his story. Now, I mentioned earlier about work. Unfortunately, I am actually in the office tomorrow, so that means I have to be up very, very early. And with these more short-form stories, it's not a bad time to call it a night for now. However, we are going to pick this game up again on the Friday evening. But in the interim, on Wednesday, we are going back to Dunwall. We are continuing our hunt for the witches as Dowd.
A facade of determination you wear to face various difficulties.
So until then, because break is never long enough, thank you all very, very much for watching. And good night.